Every skyscraper construction site in Midtown Manhattan, every high-rise in the Chicago Loop, every condominium tower along the Miami beachfront, every commercial tower in downtown Houston and downtown San Francisco runs on tower cranes built in Europe or China. Look up at the top of any unfinished American skyscraper. The name on the tower crane mast is not American. The name is Liebherr from southwestern Germany. The name is Wolf Kron from Heilbronn, Germany, a company founded in 1854. The name is Potain from Charlieu, France, a brand that has been the American Manitowoc company of Wisconsin since 1994, but is still designed, engineered, and built in France. The name is Camansa from Sangüesa, Spain. Increasingly, the name is Zoomlion from Changsha, China. No major American headquartered manufacturer produces a competitive high-specification commercial tower crane at scale in 2026. Manitowoc, the principal American crane company, owns the Potain Tower crane brand and the German Grove mobile crane brand. Manitowoc does not produce an American native tower crane product line that competes with Liebherr, Wolfgren, or Camansa at the commercial high-rise scale. This is a different kind of European versus American story. This is not Caterpillar losing a segment Caterpillar once led. Caterpillar has never built a tower crane. The American construction industry has never had a native tower crane manufacturer at competitive global scale. The dependency on European tower crane technology has been continuous since the post-war Reconstruction era, when Liebherr and Potain and Wolfkran developed the modern tower crane. The corporate decision behind this dependency was made by the principal American crane company, Manitowoc, in the 1990s. Manitowoc decided to acquire European tower crane technology rather than develop competitive American tower crane technology. Manitowoc bought Potain in 1994. Manitowoc bought Grove Mobile Cranes in 2002. The acquisitions were profitable. The acquisitions did not produce an American native tower crane engineering culture. If you have walked any major American skyscraper construction site in the last 20 years and you looked up at the tower crane on top of the building, you saw its European name, Subscribe. The channel works through one machine class, one corporate decision, one European factory at a time. Today, the tower crane. Let's start with the machine. A tower crane is a fixed mast lifting machine that climbs as the building goes up. The base sits on the foundation slab or on a tied connection to the building's steel or concrete frame. The mast rises in vertical sections, added as the construction proceeds. The slewing unit at the top of the mast rotates the boom around 360 degrees. The trolley runs along the boom to position the load. The hook lifts the load. The crane stays in place for the entire construction cycle, sometimes more than 2 years on a tall building. Every steel beam, every concrete bucket, every reinforcing bar bundle, every facade panel, every interior fit-out pallet that reaches the upper floors of an American skyscraper goes up a tower crane. The tower crane is structural to high-rise construction. There is no high-rise construction without tower cranes. A Liebherr flat-top tower crane in the LTM series, manufactured at the Biberach Ander Riss plant in southwestern Germany, has a typical jib reach of 70 to 80 meters and a maximum tip load capacity of 2 to 3 tons depending on the configuration. The Liebherr engineering signature on tower cranes is the same family-controlled middle-stand engineering signature that produces the LTM cranes, the R-Series mining excavators, and the Liebherr T264 electric mining trucks. Liebherr International AG is family-owned. Liebherr Tower Cranes is a strategic business unit within the family group. Multi-generation engineering compounding for over 70 years. A Wolfkran top slewing tower crane in the Wolf series, manufactured at the Heilbronn plant in Baden-Württemberg, has the iconic Wolfkran red livery that the audience that has worked German, Swiss, or Austrian construction recognizes immediately. Wolfkran was founded in 1854. The Wolf family operated the company for over a century before changes in ownership in the 20th century. The Heilbronn plant has been refining tower crane engineering since before electrification was standard in industrial machinery. 172 years of continuous tower crane engineering tradition. A Potain top slewing tower crane, currently sold under the Manitowoc Potain badge, is built in Charlieu, France, where Faustin Potain founded the company in 1928. Potain became Europe's largest tower crane manufacturer in the post-war decades. Manitowoc, Wisconsin acquired Potain in 1994. The Manitowoc acquisition was a corporate restructuring transaction. The Potain plant in Charlieu kept producing. The Patain engineering team kept refining. The Patain brand identity persisted. Today, the Patain badge has Manitowoc somewhere in the corporate parent line, but the engineering is French. A Camansa luffing jib tower crane from Sangüesa, Spain, in the Navarre region is the Spanish entry in the global tower crane segment. Camansa was founded in 1964. Camansa specializes in the luffing jib configuration that is particularly useful for dense urban construction where adjacent buildings limit the swing radius. The Camansa product is heavily specified on European city center, high-rise projects, and on Middle Eastern megaproject sites. A Zoomlian tower crane from Changsha, China is the Chinese entry. Zoomlian was founded in 1992 and has expanded aggressively into global tower crane markets through the 2010s and into the 2020s. The Zoomlian product competes on price and on production scale. The Chinese tower crane segment is expanded the way the Chinese wheel loader segment expanded, through scale manufacturing and aggressive dealer network expansion. 5 major manufacturers. 4 European, 1 Chinese, 0 American native. Step back from the machine and look at the corporate ownership history. Manitowoc Company is the principal American crane manufacturer. Manitowoc began in Manitowoc, Wisconsin, in the late 1800s and grew through the 20th century into a major American industrial company. Manitowoc had been building lattice boom crawler cranes, mobile cranes, and other lifting equipment for decades by the time the global tower crane segment consolidated in the 1970s and 80s around Liebherr, Poten, Wolfkron, and the smaller European specialists. In 1994, Manitowoc made the strategic decision to acquire Patain rather than develop competitive American tower crane technology. The acquisition gave Manitowoc the global tower crane market presence the company did not have organically. The acquisition was a corporate financial transaction, not an engineering transfer. Patain stayed in Charlieu. The engineering team stayed French. Manitowoc's American operations remained focused on lattice boom crawler cranes, mobile cranes, and the broader industrial product portfolio. In 2002, Manitowoc acquired Grove Mobile Cranes, another major European specialist crane brand. Grove was based in Pennsylvania originally, but the technology heritage was European. The Manitowoc, Grove, and Patain combined acquisition gave Manitowoc a strong global crane portfolio. Manitowoc became the principal American crane company by acquisition rather than by an organic American engineering development. The structural problem with this approach is that Manitowoc's American native crane engineering programs did not get the capital investment that Liebherr's German native engineering programs got. Liebherr was investing in tower crane R&D from the family balance sheet, not from public quarterly earnings pressure. Manitowoc was investing in tower crane R&D through the Patain French operation, which Manitowoc could rationalize against the Patain Rev2 stream, not from American native engineering ambition. If you work around tower cranes or supervise commercial high-rise construction, the operator tier at $5.99 gets you early access to videos like this one. Subscribe, and the next 20 European versus American breakdowns come straight to your feed. Link in the description. Now look at the American skyscraper construction industry itself. Manhattan high-rise construction in 2026 runs roughly 50 active major tower crane sites at any given time. Counting all the lower height residential and mid-rise constructions, the number is several hundred tower cranes across the New York metropolitan area at any given time. Most are Liebherr or Patain. Some are Wolfkran. A growing number are Zoomlian. The American flagged crane manufacturers, Manitowoc, Patain in this case, supply some. The European and Chinese badges supply most. Chicago Loop construction follows the same pattern. Houston downtown follows the same pattern. Miami follows the same pattern. San Francisco follows the same pattern. The American skyscraper construction industry runs on tower cranes that are designed and engineered in Europe or China. The Manitowoc Patain badge is American-owned at the parent level, but French-engineered. This dependency is structural. American skyscraper construction cannot proceed without these tower cranes. The construction subcontractors that operate the tower cranes, the rigger companies that manage the lifting operations, the union operators that run the controls, the engineering inspectors that verify the safety certification, all work on European or Chinese-designed tower cranes every working day in every major American city. The audience that has worked construction in Manhattan, Chicago, Miami, Houston, or San Francisco already understands this. The Liebherr yellow on the mast is as familiar to the New York Union operator as the JCB yellow loadall is to the British construction site supervisor. The dependency is so structural that the American construction industry does not consciously notice the absence of an American native tower crane manufacturer. Some balance is worth stating clearly. Manitowoc is an American company. Manitowoc owns the Potain brand and the Grove brand. When an American skyscraper runs a Potain tower crane, the parent company on that crane's title is technically American. Manitowoc is headquartered in Wisconsin's and pays American corporate taxes on the Potain revenue stream that flows back to the parent. The American crane industry is not entirely absent from the tower crane segment. The American crane industry is present at the corporate ownership level, not at the engineering or manufacturing level. The same nuance applies to Caterpillar in some segments. CAT owns Batelli in northern Italy for paving products. CAT owns Barber Green Legacy for paving. The American flagged corporate structure does not equal American native engineering culture. The point is the same. Engineering compounding happens in plants where engineers work continuously across generations. Charlieu has been building tower cranes since 1928. Heilbronn has been building lifting equipment since 1854. Biberach has been a Liebherr tower crane plant for many decades. The engineering compounding is in those plants, not in the corporate suites where the brand is owned. Now look at why no American native tower crane manufacturer emerged. The post-war American construction industry expanded primarily horizontally. Suburban single-family housing, ranch homes, strip malls, low-rise commercial. The vertical construction segment, the high-rise skyscraper segment, was important but smaller in unit volume than the horizontal construction segment. The American crane industry developed around the lattice bookcrawler crane, the mobile crane, and the rough terrain crane, the equipment classes that served the horizontal construction market and the heavy industrial market. The European post-war construction industry expanded primarily vertically, dense urban reconstruction, multi-story residential, mid-rise commercial. The European crane industry developed around the tower crane, the equipment class that served vertical construction. By the time the American construction industry developed major skyscraper demand in the 1970s through the 1990s, the European tower crane manufacturers had decades of compounding engineering refinement. Catching up would have required massive American native investment that the American crane industry did not make. Manitowoc chose to acquire instead. The Chinese arrival of Zoomlion is the more recent development. Zoomlion has been expanding tower crane production at scale since the late 2000s. The Chinese tower crane product is competitive on price and increasingly competitive on engineering. American skyscraper construction subcontractors are progressively adopting Zoomlion cranes on cost-sensitive projects. Look ahead 5 years to 2030. By 2030, the American skyscraper construction market will continue to depend structurally on European and Chinese tower cranes. Liebherr will likely continue to hold the premium segment for technically demanding lifts on the tallest buildings. Potain will continue to be Manitowoc's strongest tower crane offering in the American market. Wolfkron and Comança will continue to hold their European luffing, jib, and mid-market positions. Zoomlion will continue to grow share in cost-sensitive American projects. The combined European tower crane share in the American skyscraper market in 2030 will likely remain in the 60 to 70% range. The Chinese share will likely grow into the 15 to 20% range. The American native share will likely remain at effectively zero in the high-specification commercial tower crane segment because no American native manufacturer exists at competitive scale. Here is what the construction industry rigger crew will not tell you. The Liebherr flat top has the lift capacity. The Wolfkran has the dense urban reach. The Potain Manitowoc badge has the American legal structure. The Comança has the luffing jib for tight Manhattan radius. The Zoomlion has the price. The American native tower crane has the absence. There is no American native tower crane in the conversation. Tell me in the comments which tower crane you would specify for a 40-story commercial tower in Midtown Manhattan today. Liebherr Flat Top Series, Potain Top Slewing under Manitowoc badge, Wolfkran Cross Series in iconic red, Comança luffing jib, Zoomlion. The Manhattan skyline already knows the answer. And if you are wondering whether an American native tower crane manufacturer will emerge to compete with the Europeans over the next decade, The answer is in the next major American crane company capital announcement. Watch what Manitowoc does or does not announce on a Wisconsin-engineered tower crane program. The next American skyscraper that breaks ground in Manhattan, Chicago, Miami, or San Francisco will have a European name on the tower crane mast. Sometimes the corporate parent of that European name will be Manitowoc, Wisconsin. Sometimes the corporate parent will be the Liebherr family. Sometimes the corporate parent will be Zoomlion in Changsha. The American native tower crane is the empty entry on the bid sheet that the rigger crew has never even considered specifying. Wolfgren was founded in 1854, Patane in 1928, Lieber in 1949, Kamansa in 1964, Zoomlion in 1992. 5 tower crane companies, 5 different founding decades, 5 different national engineering cultures, 4 European and 1 Chinese, all compounding for decades while the American construction industry built horizontally instead of vertically, and then bought European tower cranes when the vertical demand finally arrived. The Manhattan skyline is European, the Chicago skyline is European, the Miami skyline is European with growing Chinese. The American tower crane is the empty bid the American construction industry never wrote in the first place.